Welcome to Lose Lips. All the things you wanted to say, but didn't know how to say it. Today's topic is Trump can't pay. Now, Donald Trump, the former U.S. president, currently faces substantial financial challenges due to several massive civil judgments against him. Now, let's explore the situations that he's facing. The civil judgments. Trump has been hit with three significant civil judgments in the past year. 354 million for New York business fraud, 83 million for defaming writer E. Jean Carroll, additional amounts from separate verdicts. His total liability now exceeds $440 million. Can Trump afford to pay? Now, Trump's financial situation is shrouded in mystery due to his refusal to disclose tax returns. Even if he has substantial cash reserves, paying these judgments could wipe out his accounts. He claimed to have substantially in excess of 400 million in cash, but this figure remains uncertain. Recently, it has been stated he received a bond from Chubb Insurance. Now, we wonder why Chubb has decided to place a bond for Trump and what was promised in return for the bond. There have been rumors that Chubb has Russian ties and/or Trump made promises to Chubb if he were to be reelected, or even if Chubb has been given authority over some of Trump's properties. Nevertheless, because Chubb is not talking, there is a lot of speculation going on at the moment. Selling of assets. Now, if Trump lacks sufficient cash, he may need to sell his assets. While property is an option, he could also sell investments or other valuable holdings. The immediate consequences. In the New York State court case, if Trump can't post the funds or obtain a bond, the judgment takes effect immediately. So Chubb seems to have bailed him out on the Carroll case. Will they come forward again for the New York case? A sheriff could actually begin seizing his assets. Federal court rules differ slightly for the defamation case. All of this can have a crippling financial impact. For someone who claims to be a billionaire, $440 million is a potentially devastating amount. Trump's escalating legal troubles pose a significant financial threat. Now, what happens if Trump doesn't pay by the deadline? Now, if Trump fails to pay the court-ordered judgments by the specified deadline, he could face several legal and financial consequences, such as wage garnishment. The plaintiff creditor has the legal option to pursue wage garnishment. A portion of his wages would be deducted directly from his paycheck until the debt is paid off. This could significantly burden his financial stability and make it challenging to actually cover other essential expenses. Bank account seizure. The creditor may also seek bank garnishment. They actually have the right to seize funds directly from Trump's bank account. Any money he has saved or receives as income can be taken to satisfy the judgment. Creditworthiness impact. Failure to pay a court-ordered judgment can have a long-lasting implication for Trump's creditworthiness and financial future. The creditor can report the unpaid debt and resulting judgment to credit reporting agencies. Negative marks on Trump's credit report will significantly impact his credit score, affecting his ability to obtain loans or lines of credit in the future. Interest accumulation. If the judgment includes an interest rate, the debt will continue to increase over time until it is satisfied. Trump's failure to pay can result in additional interest and potential damage to his credit history. Contempt of court. Consistent non payment could lead to the court finding Trump in contempt. This could result in additional fines or even jail time, although this is usually a last resort and varies by jurisdiction. So, with all of this going on, is Trump hiding money or is he actually broke? Now, Donald Trump actually has a complex financial situation that has been the subject of a lot of scrutiny. So, think about some of the key points: his wealth and assets. Forbes actually estimates that Trump's wealth is at $2.6 billion as of 2024, although Trump himself claims a much higher net worth. Now, mind you, this does not mean cash. This means net worth in terms of cash, properties, stocks, whatever he claims to have and own. His primary business ventures have centered around real estate, including hotels, casinos, and golf courses. Debt and liabilities. Trump's financial situation is clouded by significant debt. He owes creditors at least $315 million, primarily through mortgages for Trump organizational properties. A Forbes analyst suggests that he likely owes at least $1 billion to creditors, some of which he has personally guaranteed. Legal troubles. Trump faces substantial legal challenges, including the massive civil judgments against him. Recent court orders have required him to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in fines. His legal debts might now exceed $500 million. Post presidential impact. When Trump left office, his financial situation was reportedly shakier than widely known. The economic fallout from the COVID pandemic further complicated matters. So, again, with all of this going on, do you actually think Trump will escape his legal problems? Now, because of all the multitude of legal challenges, let's delve into some of the key cases that he's facing. The Stormy Daniels case. Now, what's this one about? A payment was made to an adult film actress, Stormy Daniels, shortly before the 2016 election. Daniels claimed she was paid $130,000 to remain silent about an alleged affair with Trump, which he, of course, denies. The case focuses on how Trump's former lawyer recorded the reimbursement in his accounts, accusing Trump of falsifying business records. The trial date, which was scheduled for March 25th, marking the first criminal trial of a U.S. president. The potential punishment for this: each charge carries a maximum of 4 years in prison, but experts believe a fine is more likely if he's convicted. 2020 election conspiracy case. Now, this one is about whether Trump illegally conspired to overturn his 2020 election defeat to Joe Biden. Federal prosecutors allege he pressured officials, spread fraud and lies, and exploited the Capitol riot to delay the certification. He faces criminal counts, including conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and conspiracy against citizens' rights. Now, the status of this trial has been postponed indefinitely due to an ongoing appeal. The Georgia racketeering case. Now, Trump was hit with 13 criminal counts, including violating Georgia's Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Organization Act. The case alleges improper conduct during his presidency. The outcome of this is that Trump denies wrongdoing, but the legal battle continues. Civil cases and financial impact. Trump faces a total of 19 legal actions, including financial wrongdoings, his role in the Capitol insurrection, and alleged election interference. Civil suits could force drastic changes to his business empire, affecting operations in his home state. Court rulings and Justice Department investigations. Recent court rulings have rejected claims of executive privilege, boosting investigations by the U.S. Justice Department. Trump's legal troubles remain a significant challenge. So, is it actually legal for Trump to run for president? Now, legally, it appears that Donald Trump could still run for president, even if convicted of a crime or found liable in a civil case. There is nothing in the Constitution that explicitly prevents someone who has been charged or convicted from seeking or taking office. However, his eligibility may be subject to specific state laws and court decisions. Now, in a recent case, this Supreme Court confronted an unprecedented election issue. Two states, Colorado and Maine, declared Mr. Trump ineligible for running as president due to his actions related to the Capitol riot. They invoked a rarely used provision of the 14th Amendment, which bars those who've engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the country from holding federal office. The Supreme Court heard this case and actually decided that it could not, these states could actually not remove Trump from their state's ballot. So if Trump is elected and he loses his appeal, does he actually forfeit the presidency? Yes. So a convicted or imprisoned felon can run for president and other federal offices in the United States. The U.S. Constitution does not explicitly prohibit a presidential candidate from running for office while under indictment or even while serving time behind bars. The eligibility requirements for presidents state only that they must be at least 35 years old, be a natural born citizen of the United States, and have been a resident of the country for at least 14 years. Therefore, a criminal record, an orange jumpsuit, and being on the wrong side of prison bars will not necessarily prevent someone from becoming president. Ultimately, it is the voters who have the power to decide through the democratic process. When you think about it, this is insane. But Trump as president has been stretching our laws for as long as we have known him to exist. And to elect a president who has so many cases ongoing and has been found guilty in so many of them not only says a lot about the people that believe in him, but that our system needs to change. Interestingly, just over a century ago, Eugene versus Debs, the Socialist Party nominee in 1920, ran for president while he was imprisoned for speaking out against World War I. Debs collected about 3% of the vote, which amounted to, I think, like 915,000 people. So history has shown that it is indeed possible for someone to campaign for the presidency from behind bars. Do you think our democratic system is broken? Now, our democratic system in the United States faces significant challenges and flaws. While it has endured for centuries, recent events have exposed critical areas where it is failing. So when you think about it, the Electoral College. The Electoral College system, which determines the presidency, has faced criticism. It can lead to situations where a candidate wins the popular vote but loses the election due to state by state outcomes. Some argue that it undermines the principle of one person, one vote. Voting system and access, voter suppression, gerrymandering, and restrictive voting laws disproportionately affect marginalized communities. The U.S. voting system is fragmented, with varying rules and practices across states. Some argue for reforms like automatic voter registration and expanded early voting. Money and politics. Campaign finance laws allow large sums of money to influence elections. Wealthy donors and corporations can wield disproportionate power. Some advocate for campaign finance reform to reduce the influence of money. Partisan polarization. Political polarization has intensified, leading to gridlock and an inability to address pressing issues. The two-party system often prioritizes party loyalty over compromise. Calls for more collaboration and moderation persist. Representation and gerrymandering. Gerrymandering distorts electoral districts, allowing politicians to choose their voters. Some states have non competitive districts, limiting genuine representation. Reform efforts aim to create fairer district boundaries. Disinformation and media landscape. The spread of disinformation undermines informed decision making. The media landscape is polarized, with echo chambers and misinformation. Media literacy and fact checking are crucial. Structural obstacles. The Senate's filibuster rule can obstruct legislation. The Supreme Court's role in interpreting the Constitution shapes policy. Calls for structural reforms, such as abolishing the filibuster or court expansion, persist. A lot will be coming out in the year 2024. Not only will we be voting for a new president, but we also may be voting for a president in jail. One can only hope. I do believe that with all of Trump's problems right now, winning the presidency is the answer to all of his problems. If he were to win, then he, of course, will change laws to prevent him from going to jail. He will change laws so that he does not have to pay fines, judgments. He will also change laws so that he comes out scot free. So, needless to say, he needs to win this presidency for his own sake, not for the people that would actually vote for him. Trump's inability to pay and his lies about his wealth are finally catching up to him. It is obvious that he does not have the funds to pay not only the Carroll judgment, but the New York judgment as well. With all of his appeals and stall tactics, you can only get away with so much before you must meet your fate. I only hope he meets his fate soon and he stops playing with the system to stall the outcome. Supreme Court justices, you are no longer supreme. It is obvious you are as crooked as Donald is. Republicans, wake up and use your brain. Is this the type of person you want to look back on and say you elected? Someone who lies, steals, is representing your country? What else will he have to do before you back away and say enough is enough? Place him in jail like the average person would have been, and stop protecting someone that doesn't protect their own country. That's all for today. Thank you so much for listening to Loose Lips, and until the next time.